guys, David here, and welcome to Digital Outlook. Guys, I sure hope you have had an absolutely fantastic Friday thus far. I'll tell you what, in this space, it is never boring, not at all. And I'm reading a lot of comments. A lot of folks are saying, well, hey, you know, the market is crashing and on and on. Guys, this is not a crash. This is normal, regular market activity and behavior for where we are in this bull season. Absolutely, for sure. A lot of TA guys are pointing that out. This is not something to actually cry about. It's something to laugh about, actually get excited about when you have these kind of opportunities. Now, something really big happened in this space today, and a lot of people are not commenting on it. But guys, I'm going to put the article right down in here so that you can read this for yourself. But the Commodities Futures and Trade and Commission, you know, the CFTC, has come out and they have said, listen, we know that a lot of Americans have been shut out of non-U.S. exchanges for various markets. And they are now going to be opening the doors to allow and streamline a lot of these non-U.S. exchanges to come in and apply and get registered with the CFTC so that you and I, guys, we can go out there and we can trade on these markets again. How long has it been since Americans haven't been welcome over there at KuCoin or at Binance.com or some of these other exchanges? Well, guys, this is going to open the door for you and I again. This is not, it was all markets, but it includes digital assets, and this is a major, major deal. And the liquidity that is out there, traditionally we could do it. Well, now, guys, it looks like it's going to be back on the table again, and that is huge for this space. Absolutely massive. And a lot of folks, guys, right now, of course, the FUD is coming out because whenever the price dips, you know, you got these guys crying, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, oh, the sky is falling. And I've just been here too long to even pay any attention to it. I focus on exactly what I'm investing in. Guys, the sentiment is there for sure, but you got the technical analysis and you have got the fundamental analysis. Now, I've encouraged folks to go do this, and if you have never heard me to encourage anyone to do it, go and do this. After you watch this, how about you get on to the Atlantic Council? Just go to Google and type in Atlantic Council CBDC tracker. Pull that thing up. Guys, you're going to see something that is really going to open your eyes. If you page down from that, they have an interactive map there. Every nation on earth is in the process, right down to, as I like to say, the Federated States of Micronesia. And what are they developing? They're developing central bank digital currencies. They're developing the infrastructure for a new digital economy. Now, I want you to ask yourself a question. Do you really believe that all of these institutions around the wide world are putting in billions upon billions upon billions upon billions to build an infrastructure that they never intend on using? Come on, guys. We know that that's, you know, obviously they're going to use it. And when we're talking about that, we're not just talking about the flow of money around the wide world, which of course frees up a major problem, the liquidity problem with the Nostro-Vostro accounts being eliminated. It's not just that. Guys, it's everything. It's real world asset tokenization, which is absolutely massive. You just think of these, you know, markets and the tokenization of all these securities, which Larry Fink absolutely is going for, and a lot of others are going for that. $100 trillion right there. This space is what? Under $5 trillion right now? That is going to be a major move. Then you got the debt market, $300 trillion. Real estate, $360 trillion. Heck, the derivative market into the quadrillion. So real world asset tokenization, that right there is going to blow the living doors off of what this space will do. Beyond that, decentralized identity. You watch and see if the G20 and all these major nations on earth don't start building out. We already know that in the United States, when you travel even within the country, you need to have a smart ID to do that as of May of 2025, right? Well, we know around the wide world, they're increasing that more and more and more. And this is where distributed digital identities are going to come into play. Now, a lot of people look at that and they say, well, then the government's going to know. The government already knows. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. I was a federal officer for 25 years in Canada. And part of the job that I had was finding people around the wide world and where the flow of their money was and all this and this and that. Guys, even back then, we had the means to find out so much information it would blow your mind. And do you know what? It wasn't from government databases. Nope. It was from private sector databases. Because, you see, the thing is, the government, all you have to do is show up there with what's called a requirement to provide information, and they are legally obligated to provide it. That's it. And it's, by the way, it's done ex parte, which means without you even knowing that they're going out and getting that information. That is how our governments work. So the government in and of itself does not have to bank and house this information. You're already supplying it. And who are you supplying it to? Google, your cell phone provider, Facebook, on and on and on. And that's a fact, Jack. Now, we don't like to think about it. We don't like to hear about it, but that is the reality of the world that we live in. So if you're afraid of decentralized or digital IDs because the government will know so much about you, I'm telling you what, do you have a bank account? Do you have a credit card? Do you have a mortgage? Do you have health insurance? They know everything they need to know, guys, already. Don't let that scare you. This is going to literally change the fortunes of so many. What is coming? And that's where I look down the road. I'm not looking at the day-to-day price action like this and getting all freaked out, shaken out, and scared. No, we're not. Why? Because we know what we hold and we know where it's going. And it is going to change the way the world even functions. Now, you tell me, where do you think XRP and the value of these digital assets will be in an environment like that? In my estimation, it is going to be most people can't even digest where it's going to be. And that's why a lot of folks will come out and say, well, if you took it the market capitalization and this and this and that, then you would have XRP would have the market cap way beyond these companies. Do you know that XRP has a market cap greater than Disney does right now, greater than Nike does right now, on and on and on? Why do you think it cannot get there? It could. I mean, if you're talking about all the money, well, then you're talking about all the money, right? And that is how these things will function. The fact that you and I are able to actually invest in it when it is literally peanuts in comparison to what it'll be like that is mind-bending in and of itself. And of course, that's why there's all the fun. Do you believe that the lawsuit was just laid down, because they had to argue the possibility of it being a security? I think they knew from day one this is never going to get designated as a security. Because what happened, guys? Well, hey, the exchanges, all these U.S. exchanges, what did they do? They delisted XRP. Save Uphold. Now, with Uphold, for a majority of people, you could only buy it at $500 at a time. So what did that do? Boy, did it ever limit the ability for retail to get into this space, didn't it? It did. And here we are, guys. The lawsuit's all done and everything like that. It's relisted on all these exchanges, and the FUD that is coming out is mind-blowing. You would think that the sky is actually falling, but it's not even close to falling, guys. Don't let yourself get buffaloed like that. Don't get yourself afraid like that. Get to identify the psychology of this marketplace. There are markers that you can clearly identify as they happen so that you can position yourself to be so strategic that you can literally, play them, beat them at their own game. Because how you beat them at their game, guys, is you just don't play it. Most of us can't be whales, but, I stack my pennies next to their dollars. I'm not following their advice. I'm following their behavior. And you know what one of the beautiful things is about this space? We can see their behavior, can't we? Because these ledgers, they're open, guys. They are open. And you can learn where to go, where to look, and where to see all these open ledgers. And you can watch what these whale wallets are doing. Boom, 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 boom. And I'll tell you, it can make a world of difference for you. Now, having said all that, I opened up my coaching this morning for 3 days in the second week of September there. Guys, I think I only have 3 or 4 sessions left. And if it's something that interests you, you want to visit me at thedigitaloutlook.com. Get yourself on the calendar there. And that's where we spend that 1 hour, one-on-one, you and I, and not some representative of me, no me. We sit down together and we go over this space and we talk about all these things, share with you techniques that you can absolutely employ to get yourself ready for something big. And guys, I've loved doing it. I have loved doing it. I've helped so many people now. And by the way, it's a two-edged sword, guys. I get a lot out of the fact the stuff that I have learned from people in this space has really been amazing. and the encouragement that Judy and I have got. That's why, we call you guys the best community in all of crypto. And we did this together, guys. We're almost at 65,000 subs right now. We did that together. Judy and I don't have any sponsors or anything like that. You'll notice in the comments there, we're trying to delete all the, the garbage comments that come in, and we try to clean it up, and we interact from time to time with you guys and stuff like that. It's because we care. And I've heard this said, because I've heard all the criticism there is to hear, but I'll tell you one thing. Most folks, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's a fact, Jack. And guys, we care about you. We want you to make it. We want you to make it. And that's why we have taken the steps that we have. Now, one thing I will say is this. You want to be thinking about how you're going to off-ramp. And that's why we have been using Caleb and Brown since 2020. And I bring them out from time to time. And I let you know that, hey, look, when we were trying to get into it, all of these exchanges, they went down. They went down. You would try to get on, but you couldn't because it was a race to the trough and the servers couldn't handle the traffic and they went down. Well, while they were fixing those servers, I can tell you right now, the market did not stop trading. And what a comfort it is to be able to pick up the phone, can you imagine, and actually contact your broker when most people can't getting access into these markets. Absolutely, for sure. And this is where doesn't cost you 1 red cent to open up an account with Caleb and Brown. You can talk to your broker as many times as you like. There's no withdrawal fees. There's no fees to custody your assets with these guys. The only time you pay a fee is when you buy and when you sell. And that's the deal. And so I'll tell you what, we've got a link right down there in the description of every one of our videos where you can sign up for Caleb and Brown. And I give you full transparency. If you use that link, they pay us a referral fee. But whether you choose to use it or not, guys, check these folks out. The nice thing is, hey, if you sign up with them, doesn't mean you have to sign out with everybody else. You can have multiple ramps. And that's why I encourage that right there. Guys, so much fantastic stuff happening in this space. There is no reason for you and I to be down in the mouth about what's going on. Boy, oh boy, Judy and I are as excited as can be. And guys, I'll tell you what, until tomorrow, when we're going to have another amazing video for you with our Saturday question and answer. And by the way, sugar on Sunday. Guys, cannot wait. Until then, have an absolutely fabulous one and take care.